Yay, it works. Been gone so long. Not even sure if I knew actually how to find my way back. Good to see everybody. Hey, Sid. Hey, Joe. And who's this crazy Luna person in my chat?
Uh,
Speaking of Luna, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone.
Cool.
I'm supposed to be on a break, but I thought I'd hang out with Jules this weekend. So,
I've kind of
nothing.
been on a break too. This is like the first thing I've done on this channel in many months. Not lack of wanting to be here, just personal endeavors keeping me busy, which they're winding down. So fairly
Oh,
soon, I'll be
yeah,
back more often.
yeah. Well, I want to come back with something good for people, and I haven't got my clumpy hand. It's getting better, so I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah. So here we are, just you and me, and Sid and Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird. It's so weird how time actually works. I scheduled this stream like 3, 4 days ago, and I just dove into work, dove into work outside of work, and I set this up because we were having a fantastic yarn the other night. We hadn't caught up in forever, and we were yarning, and we were having this conversation, spiritual beliefs, spiritual connections. And I'm like, well, I'll set up a stream. We'll talk about spirit, spiritual stuff. And
Here we
time
are.
goes by, time goes by faster, and here it is. And I can't even remember what we talked about. I literally have nothing.
And well, I know how to start that off. Most spiritual people, you go on a cycle. So you rise and you go, not rise and fall, but you kind of express and then go quiet. And there's quiet times because you've got to have quiet times, right? So you can hear everything. You can't always be talking because you're not listening when you're talking. So there's quiet times, and we go into quiet times, and that's when we absorb everything. And then we have to empty our cup out, and then we make noise, and then we speak about it if we want, or we'll go and express that energy somehow, whether it be in talking form, art, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there is a
Yeah.
for everything, quiet time. But being on a spiritual path, it's like going up a big spiral, and you come back round to where you were. But yeah, that's your choice whether to go up or down on that spiral. This is how I see it. Like other people see it different, but I see it like this:
Mhm.
go up and down on that spiral, and you look at what you've done and what's around you and all your thoughts and feelings. And if you do it right, you go back up and around, but each time you're going up and up and up and up, and you're ascending. And in that is quiet times, crazy times, quiet times. You get real philosophical times, real wise times. And then the best time for spiritual people, and I know this is going to sound really funny, Jules, but the best time for a spiritual person is when they feel like they know nothing. You will spend periods of time where you feel like you know nothing at all in this world, and you're only this big because you don't know anything, and that's the best
Mhm.
time. Yeah, because that shows that all your work and that is paid off because you feel like you know nothing. You actually know a lot, but getting back to the basics and knowing nothing means you're ready for the next level and what it has to learn. So don't freak out when you get to a point where you feel a bit miserable. It's like I feel like I know nothing. I feel
I
everything.
mean,
And that's
you are speaking to my soul when it's spiritual conversation. Um, because I kind of when I set out on this, and I wish that I could talk more about this, but I've got things ticking in the background that I can't really talk about a lot right now. Um, but when I went into this, I didn't have this idea that I knew a lot. I just kind of went at it as it is what it is. And it wasn't only until I stopped trying to find what I was looking for and just absorbing everything, what my spirit was seeking presented itself to me. And then I would look into that, and that would either take me to what I thought was truth or lies, which nowadays Nobody refers to it as lies. You don't ever hear people in media very seldom talk about lies. It's called misinformation now.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that, I mean, it took me a while. Once I realized that there's no more lie, that misinformation has replaced the term lying, and then it's starting to slowly make a little bit more sense to me.
It's a bit like secret knowledge. There's actually no such thing as secret knowledge. It just means you're not ready to understand it yet. Because when you are, it'll come round to you, right?
True. And I mean, and if you kind of think about, if you think about everybody, and if we all are connected to a source, we're all pieces of the source through our each with our consciousness. We're all, there's so many of us. And if we all had, if each person has just one bit of truth, there's so many of us that it's going to almost be impossible to seek out the actual truth.
But then again, the truth lays where you stand. So if I'm looking at something from one angle and you're looking at it from another angle, even though we're looking at the same thing, we're looking at different parts of it. Your truth is just as valid as mine, even though we're looking at different things.
It is. And kind of thinking about it that way, I mean, it's what the truth is, information. It is what it is. It could be material. It could be, it's information. It's how you stumble upon it, how you perceive it, but it's more how you feel internally about it. Is that gut feeling is what makes it
True. Yeah.
Your truth.
Yeah, there's different, you could say there's different levels of truth. So the profound creator's truth is the ultimate, right? And then it'll filter down to little truths, because in our world there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of truths and there's a lot of bullshit. But truth sings out. When someone says the truth, everyone goes silent because there's no argument. You can't argue the truth. Everyone knows that it's the truth. Only an idiot will argue, you know what I'm saying, the truth, knowing that it's true and just arguing for the sake of it. But the truth resounds like a bell when the truth is spoken. It goes bing out through everyone, and you feel it in your gut, like you said, and no one says anything because it's true. I've been in a lot of them situations. The silence will crush you sometimes. Yeah.
How does that phrase go? Yo, Polly, where are you? I need you for your memory.
Polly. Poor Polly has to work.
The smell of. It'll come back. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. That saying. Okay. This smell of. Hang on. I've got to get it right. Polly.
So do I.
Dead serious. I know it says dead serious. The smell
of
dead serious is.
That's it. The smell of dead serious
is the honest truth.
The smell. Yeah.
Something like that.
Hopefully, Polly will join us. I just
Polly saying no. I'm sure it's the smell of dead serious is the honest truth. Yeah, it was good. Good. Yeah, he's busy. Everyone's busy today, unfortunately, except for us. All right, back to spiritual stuff. So there's many layers of spiritual stuff because there's many layers of life. You've got the etheric, right? You've got, it even comes down to this physical world. Spiritually, it's like healing. There's many layers. And you've got to look at more. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about the spiritual path and truth. Flexibility. All right, you've got to be flexible because we aren't perfect beings, and there comes a day where what you thought was true isn't, and you learn more knowledge that changes that view and you grow. Don't mean you're wrong, just mean that you didn't have the whole truth, right? But you have to be flexible enough to be honest to yourself and say, okay, I had this shit bit wrong, right? I made this thing wrong. Let's undo it and start it all proper again. That's a really hard thing because most people go, no, I'm right. I never want to admit that I'm wrong. If I change to adapt to that new knowledge, that means I'm wrong. Well, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you haven't blossomed properly, and there's a bit of fertilizer knowledge to make you blossom.
Well, and I mean, I've even kind of had instances where I've had to, I guess you would say, prune the bush back, because I've come across information that I thought was accurate, only to find out that it's not. And I had to eat crow and think about things a different way and come to a completely different belief.
And adjust, yeah. And two, I think I spoke to you about this before, grafted knowledge. And this is what happens, what we just spoke about, where you find out the full truth and you have to adjust yourself, is because whatever knowledge you had before was probably grafted on by someone else and not truly from you. And then when that graft falls off, you go, oh no, was it wrong? No, that just really didn't belong to you. That's not your true essence of learning, because it's in here, not outside grafted on. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they jump on a path where it's all grafted, and they get to the point where it's like, hang on, this isn't truly me, what's going on? Then they have to adjust everything to their own trueness. Basically, that's what happens. And don't be afraid to do that. It just makes you a stronger, better person, because you're willing to filter out all the dead branches and all the fruit that don't belong to you. So I'm trying to put on you. And in this life, people put stuff on you all the time. They make you wear stuff, so to speak. That saying, I had to wear it. I've actually had dreams where upstairs has shown me people putting offering clothes and coming towards me to put it on. I've clicked in the dream that, hang on a minute, they want me to wear this and it's not mine. I'm not wearing it. So yeah, that's happened to you. All right, wait till the next one. I'm lost now. But basically, stay true. That's what true to yourself is. Stay true to yourself, stay true to your own truths, and watch that grafted stuff. But be honest with yourself too. Like, you got to pull yourself up when you're bullshitting yourself, right? It's really important to be honest with yourself first, and then you be honest with everything else. And be
because nobody can. It's been my personal experience. Nobody can kick you in the pants as good as yourself.
Yeah. That's why I like to be kind to people, because I know if they're like me, they're going to pay out on themselves more than anyone else could in this world. And having a stranger or someone they know giving them heaps again, it's only compounding it. So, but I'm not sure if every single person in the world does that. I've never asked. You don't know unless you ask, because the world's made up of different people. Some people haven't got as much passion as others. Some people are very narrow focused. But the world's made up of different people.
Do you think that has to do with the age of one's soul? Because I know there you do meet old souls along the way, and then you meet these people who just are bright-eyed, like they know nothing.
They just arrived. It's their first time around. They've never been here before. They got no idea. Yeah, it's like that. Wow, that goes into your personal spiritual evolution, where you've been before, what you've done, who you were, what you were. All that comes into it. And it's funny, when you look at a person, that's what you see. You see all that, and it's not something that you can document and talk about, because there's so much information there when you see a person. Everything they ever were is in them. And you can access it and see it. They can too if they know how to, but there's a lot of information there. That brings me back to what you said before, that we're all just parts of Creator, and we're seeing from all these different angles and having all different experiences, but it's all for the one thing. Mm-hmm. It's like we go back to Creator and report, well, I went here and this happened. And I went here and this happened.
And by the way, don't try the shrimp cocktail.
Yeah. There's a lot of tricky things down there. Watch out.
And makes me wonder. Do you think some of this stuff, some of the events that just happen naturally, do you think that some of it could be to test us?
Yeah, but test in the way of you've learned this and now it's an exam. How good did you learn it? That kind of test, not test as in you're being tested all the time and everything. Not a harsh test. It's like, okay, you've been here for a while. You've had this experience. What have you learned?
You're saying it's more like a quiz and not a test.
Yeah, an easy test, but more like a review, Okay, well, let's review what you've done. Do you remember this? And sometimes we forget. We go, oh man, I forgot that one. Well, you better go and do it again because this is important and you need to remember it. So it comes back into your life in a different form. It's not always looking the same. Each time it happens, it gets more complex because you didn't learn it the first time. So they're going to bring it to review for the second time. They're going to add some more stuff in there to help you understand it more. And if you still don't get it, it'll just keep going. And then you end up going, oh man, everything's a mess. And that's when you pull out the simplicity and go, oh, I learned that lesson. And then it'll all be over. And you'll go on to the next one and they'll review that. How did you learn this? Because when we go back to what we said about new souls, old souls, so you get a soul that has learned a lot and they've learned it properly and it's all ticked off. Of course, when you approach them, you can feel their wisdom and knowledge because they've actually learned their stuff for good and it's been ticked off, so to speak, as opposed to someone who's still not getting the gist of what they're supposed to learn and going through it a few times. But they'll get there. Everyone gets there at our own time. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's just a learning thing. Yeah, and that can be tricky in this world. And this world's getting more complicated. As time goes by, it's getting more complicated. I think because as a whole, we're not learning the lesson, so we're adding all this extra stuff in to get us to learn the lesson as a whole. And that's where I get peeved off, Pissed off platypus comes out because it's like, hey, everyone, we're doing this all together, but yous aren't doing your part. And we're all suffering, Yous are being mean over there and hurting people. Don't do that. It's holding up our progress. So, hey,
well, I mean,
good
morning.
Said
if consciousness is connected, I mean, it makes sense that you would feel some of the effects of it, because good or bad, if we're connected somehow, some way.
Yep, we all do feel it. Yep.
Because just thinking about it, when we're born, that umbilical cord, when it's cut, it's what keeps us in this dimension, in this realm. And then upon death, that silver thread is what frees us from this realm.
Yeah, because we're just in the you need a vehicle to get around in. It's our vehicle, yeah. To get around.
Yeah,
that's how you know who's knocking on your door before they come.
Yep. Actually, I used to tell my kids they're practicing who's on the phone before you answer it. Who's coming to the door before they come. They're all practice things to get those gifts going. It's a good way to practice it, yeah.
It's strange stuff.
Another way is to get a packet of coloured pencils, put them in a pencil case that you can't see, put your hand in, grab one, say what colour it is and pull it out and see if you're right, and keep doing it until you get a couple in.
You can do the same with cards.
Yep. They're all exercises, yeah. Sidekick exercises, I call them. But yeah, that's another level, is your spiritual gift. So you've got your spiritual path looking on how you walk through the world, but then you've got gifts on top of that. And how do you use them? Are you responsible for your gifts? Do you use them willy-nilly? Are you mean when you use your gifts? All this comes into it too. That's all another level of learning.
True.
Are you practicing your gifts or just wasting them? Like Sid said, are you thinking, all right, who's going to come to the door? I can feel it. Someone's going to come. Not today. Who's going to be on the phone? A lot of people out there will probably feel what's happening in the world before it happens. They can feel the build-up of energy, and they know that something's going to happen, then you find out later. All this is accessible to us. And that's another thing, you know, guys. In today's technology, they're trying to make technology to match the natural spiritual gifts that we have. Why even bother doing that? Just access your natural spiritual gifts. Don't cost you nothing. You can take it anywhere you want. You know, it's
you just hit the nail on the head. Cost. That's everything in this this dimension, this realm. All comes down to money.
Ding, ding.
If no profit can be made, it's no do.
That's right. But you know, their spiritual gifts don't cost you. They might cost you time and investment in trying to learn them and use them wisely and use them for the reason that Creator gave them to you for.
So is there a place where people can go if they don't know they have spiritual gifts or would like to find out if they have spiritual gifts?
Well, you know, yeah, there are people you can go and see and stuff, but you have to be careful.
I was about to say I have to be careful about that. Yeah.
And my smart ass answer would be yes, there is a place to go. It's inside here.
Well,
that's the
there's a place to go. It's inside your
yeah. And you won't be bullshitted there because your gut feelings will let you know. And by the way, stomach area. I'll just show you. This is where your spirit lives. In here, in this area here. Mm-hmm. That's where your spirit lives, and they reckon you've got a second brain in there. That second brain is your spirit, your soul. That's your energy. That's you occupying the vehicle we live in here. That's why.
From what I've come across, the chakras are very vital to lining them up and energies. I mean, comparing like the symbolism we always talk about as above, so below, the chakras, the one that's in the middle, the fourth chakra is the heart. There's 3 below, there's 3 above. And when you're in that heart chakra, when you look above, you're trying to get to the purple, but you have to go through the blue. And it kind of ties in with that concept that I had of the solar system. The SOUL, solar system.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Because the whole systems that make up our body, the 12 systems that our body are the zodiac. There's 12 zodiacs. So I'm just.
But there was more. See how they treat it? There was 13. 13 zodiacs. They made 12. They took one away. See, this is what's happened. This is why people it's hard to walk a proper spiritual path these days, because someone or a group of somebodies have gone and taken one little thing out. Like now you got 12 zodiacs. We used to have 13. What about that knowledge from the 13th zodiac?
Well, I mean, in looking 12, I don't know, for some reason, everybody, this 12 it just seems like an even number.
I know.
Let's make it 12. Like, even when you're looking at the picture of Da Vinci's The Last Supper, that one little person that's on the side is a half of a person, but when you look at everybody, there's 13 people comprising that picture, not just 12.
Same for me.
Why isn't every month even numbers?
Even numbers, yeah. And we don't have zodiac here. Right, that's the northern culture coming down here.
Traditionally, we don't really use that stuff either. It's like it's the entertainment. You read it in a magazine, like when you were a kid, your mom said, "Come on, I'll read your zodiac."
Yeah, I know.
In a weekly magazine, or in a newspaper.
Because most people don't.
Then you had some of the older people. They were like, "Oh yeah, want me to tell your future in the teacup, in the tea leaves and stuff." Yeah.
Cartomancy. But I mean, but back in the day, people used to do birth charts and star charts to know
Yeah.
where their soul where their soul was at the time when they came back for reincarnation. Because if consciousness stems off from the spark of a star, I mean, essentially we're all stars, and when you use your birth chart with all this information, you know where your soul was at this particular point in time.
Yeah, I only found the thing with that though. What about those other things that we only see every so many thousands of years? And if no one knew about them and you were born on that day when it was there, that makes it incorrect.
So memory is coming back. We were talking the other night, Luna,
Yeah.
about the new age religion, the new age, what that philosophy is. And is it the true spiritual path like you would have, native cultures would have? It's how different? I'm not going to say it's completely different because I don't know. What are the differences between the two?
All right. This is my observation, and I've seen people, the New Age spiritual stuff, as opposed to all the old stuff that we've had for a long time. The old way versus the new way, okay? Shocked and horrified, the first thing that I found out was they teach people to bring their energy this way, from the ground up, through them out, right? You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to bring creator's energy in through you down into the mother, right? When the energy goes the other way, it's not from us, it's a call from the mother and father that needs to adjust energy, and it'll just automatically happen. But they're teaching people to bring the energy up this way, which means they're bringing from the... Now, I have to be honest with you people, I've got to be straight. In today's day and age, the maintenance of lower chakra energy is appalling, if you get what I'm saying. How can I say it straight without being rude? All right. So the maintenance, I'll just say it, keep going. The maintenance of the lower chakra energy is appalling. It's thrown out. Horrible things are happening in the world because this energy is out of control. And they're teaching people to draw from that energy and push it up into the sky. What's that? That isn't that's... I'll just leave it at that, my opinion. I'll leave it at that. The energy going up that way. You don't do it. You bring it from creator down and through this way. That was the biggest...
I follow your opinion. When you get to that one, that heart chakra, the fourth chakra, the heart one, that's when it makes a difference. When you get in that fourth chakra, that's when you feel the vibrations, the energies.
Right. Another thing they don't tell you is to do with chakras. Okay, so just imagine this. So we kind of live in a jungle. The world's like a jungle, right? You've got all different plants and animals and stuff, all right? They're telling people to keep their flower open, all right? Open all your chakras up. Leave them open. In a jungle situation, that is not the right thing to do. Do you get what I'm saying? You're a target. Because someone can walk past and go, oh, you're all open. I can draw or place something in and out your energy. Right? You're supposed to open and close them. You know the flowers that open in the morning and close at night, you know? Open and close. That's what we're supposed to do. New Agers don't teach you that. You go, oh, open all your chakras and keep yourself open and vulnerable. You know? So there's a lot of things like that. And I'm not having a go at the New Age people. Good on you. You're trying real hard. You're opening your heart and you're making a better person of yourself. But the things you're being told aren't 100% true. And that's that grafted energy, and you need to go in and adjust it. If it don't feel right, don't do it. That's another thing. If you're bringing energy up this way and it don't feel right, don't do it. Bring it down this way. Because most people that bring it up this way from the bottom are doing it for certain kinds of reasons. Yeah. And it ain't unconditional love. All right, I'm going to be quiet just for a second now.
No, thank you for answering that. I mean, that just thought came back, and I just had to ask.
Yeah, I could go through it all, man. How we use our energies with each other. And I've seen so many people put their energy over people, and you're not supposed to do that. And it's like equivalent to someone actually leaning right over that person, you know. It's like, hey, get off me. But because no one else can see it, they put their energies over people, and it's only people like us that can see that going on, what are you doing to that person? Back off, leave them alone. And then the person will look at you and go, thank you, because they had no way of explaining what was happening to them because that person wasn't actually standing next to them. So,
Yeah.
you know,
How different is that than, I don't know. I mean, would an energy leech kind of fit in
vampire.
with that?
Yep. I've seen human walking energy vampires, and I've seen actual spiritual vampires attached to people. And the creepiest thing is that some of these things, I've talked to the person who has them attached to them, and they know quite that it's there, and they were happy to have them there. That's what freaked me out. It's like, what? Yeah, incoming substance. They were happy to have them there, and I freaked out. I just backed off and went, no thanks.
And and looking back on it, I guess what started this conversation was the other night talking about souls. Didn't I ask a question somewhere along the line of, I wonder if walking a spiritual path would be easier for some people if they thought of the word spiritual not necessarily as any kind of attached with any kind of concept or of dogma or religion, but if they simply thought of spiritual and just replaced it with the word soul.
Yeah, they'd be more unconditional. You know, one thing I noticed, all the religions in the world all say, if you don't follow our religion, you don't go to heaven. All of them say that. Where's the unconditional love of that? Creator.
Well, because I was actually I had a thought, you know, I think we could potentially be living in hell right now.
Yeah, some people.
I mean, apart from all the evil and everything that's going around, but I had a thought on it. Souls, they are non-physical. They don't burn. So how can you burn forever if there's nothing physical to burn? You keep coming back.
Okay.
That's why I kind of wonder if we couldn't be in hell right now.
I'll place you the question. When you have anguish or something bad's to you happen to you, or there's a situation going on, what does it feel like? It feels like you're burning. It's like burning your soul because it's happening and happening and happening and don't stop it. This situation's happening on you, got anguish over it's literally burning you. Do you understand? Anger does it. It burns you. So you can burn forever in anger. It's a spiritual thing. You don't want to burn. You want to be nice, calm like water, you know. You want to be water, not fire, in spiritual terms. So, yeah, I looked at that. I thought the same. I thought, how could we burn? And then I went, oh, no, inside our spirit. You feel it when something happens bad or something. You feel it burning in there. That's what it is.
I never actually thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Or you'll feel bliss forever. It all lays upon us, you know. It doesn't matter what other people say. When the day comes, it's you and Creator. And Creator will go, hey, look in the mirror. And you get a good look at yourself in a way you've never seen before. We're supposed to do most of that here before we go there, so we're ready. But even the most ready of us will get up there and go, bow our heads, oh, Creator, you know. It's hard work down here. Even the most perfect have a hard time. I remember once the Dalai Lama, what did he say? Someone asked him, does he get angry? He said he goes off like a volcano. I laughed and I thought, that's true. That's being human, being real. Even though he's on a spiritual path, he understands that these times come. We all suffer from the same afflictions in that manner, just at different times and different intensities. So the key actually lays in you, in us, in ourselves. Oh, Robin, you're yarning too much here, man.
No, it's interesting.
I mean, I'm like, waiting
Look, I'm
for
a
Sid
fire. No, it's
I
hot
mean,
here.
I feel like I see Sid here, but I also don't know when he's ready to speak or not.
Speak, Sid. I need a drink of water.
Well-
Speak, Sid. I'm back second.
Well, no, if I feel like I have something to say, I'll speak. I'll answer if
Sounds like
asked. Yeah, yeah. I'll listen. And I like to hear her finish what she said before I answer or ask more.
so. I got a question for you when you get back, Luna. You could probably hear me, so I'll go ahead and I'll ask it now. What's your opinion of selling? Can souls be sold?
Oh,
I think they can, in the sense that making a deal with the devil, selling your soul.
You don't want to do that.
No,
In darkness for the rest of your entirety. People forget their spirit lives forever, right? You are immortal, not physically. You'll get different physical bodies when you come here, but your essence, which is from Creator, is forever. What are you going to do with it? You want to give it to somebody and they'll lock you up in a little dark box?
and that's what's so comical about it. Is like every religion could get you up in arms of life and death, but it's like we are vampires. Who cares? I mean, come back, stay immortal. We already are. We get to come back and do it over and over again.
Well, we can. It depends. Some people, this is all from my understanding, okay, when I talk, so anyone that's listening, I don't know everything, but this is just my path, my understanding. So you can die, and die is a horrible word, actually, for the journey of leaving your body. You can come back within 24 hours. You might not come back for 300 years. You might not come back for 5,000 years, depending on your individual journey, what you have to learn and who you are. You know, I've seen people come back in 24 hours. I've known straight away. I've even known when they're going to be born the opposite sex to what they are. They could be a man, or you're going to be born a woman next time. And they look at me, but I see these things. And I often wonder.
Time in between, they have holiday.
Holiday, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rest. Yeah, you go for a rest. Some people get put in this room. I call it the waiting room. And the ones that I've seen in the waiting room, their deaths have been a bit, how you going? So one lady had a car accident, and they didn't know whether she committed suicide or whether it was a real accident. It was a real accident from what I saw. But because of that, there was stuff going on there, and she was in a waiting room for a little while.
Kind of like a spiritual courtroom?
No, it's like I'll tell you exactly how I see it. It probably in reality isn't this, but this is how I see it. So if you can imagine just a square room that isn't too large, right? It's empty, and the walls are made of white curtains. That's how I see it. And the person's sitting in there. And when I ask where they are, they go, oh, they're in the waiting room. And you can go up and see them sitting in there. They're in review, and things have to be sorted out. Because sometimes an untimely death can cause a lot of chaos, because you're meant to fulfill certain things, because it was an untimely death. It does happen, and it takes, I think it's 7 spirits to decide whether you come back or not. It has to be agreed before you come back. You don't come back willy-nilly, right? It's all been pre-done and agreed upon, and you're in this as well. You do have a choice. You might get in and think, oh, I didn't choose this. Well, actually you did, parts of it. And you got to remember what we see up there before we come down here looks different, because the world here is like, you know, when you go fishing and you go to spear a fish, and you have to make adjustment for the fact that once it gets in the water, the vision is distorted. This is what it's like living here. It's one thing while we're up there, it's all nice and clear. When we get here, it's like being in the water and things are slightly distorted. That's why we kind of don't always get everything 100%. Like we see stuff and we're like, this is how I remember, but we're looking different because we're here, and there's nothing anyone can do about that. That's just this place. You've just got to realise. That's why when you get something or knowledge comes, you've got to check it out because of that distortion. Like the fish, when you're teaching someone to fish and spear a fish, you've got to teach them about the distortion and how to spear in a actually different position to what it looks like, because you look at the fish. Yeah, spiritual world, same.
It's not where it looks like it is.
That's right, and it's the same when we look spiritually and we hit this realm. It's like the fish in the water. You've got to just slightly adjust it.
I mean, I follow you on that, but I kind of wonder. I don't, if this is true. I don't remember previous lives, but coming down to this realm, do you think it's possible that beyond this 3D realm that there are other senses that we lost when we come to this realm?
Yeah, other awarenesses. Yeah. And the gifted people, that's them getting them back, like, yeah, so the gifted people is remembering them senses. They're still connected somehow. They're not disconnected.
Maybe that's what we get a little hint of, when you feel like people are coming, or who's coming. Some people are good at, guessing stuff people say.
Yeah,
they know. Yeah,
a definite interest.
Maybe that's a feeling of that thing, that gift that you have in the between worlds. Yeah, when you're in between lives.
And it depends how you grow too.
Then you're not here.
Yeah. And like I said, you can not be here for 5,000 years. That's a long time of remembering stuff before you come back.
Yeah. Well, it says in the Vikings talked about, like, some people, they got banished. Yeah?
They got banished.
Never to return. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. And that was when they died.
Yeah.
Not when they left to the neighboring city.
Yeah, they must have done some really naughty stuff. I remember in my past life, some of them that I remember, I was ashamed. It was like, oh shit, I did that. But the reason they make you forget your past lives is the emotional attachment, right? So it's hard enough being here emotionally. Imagine having umpteen lives with the same emotional weight. It'll kill you. Your body wouldn't be able to support that amount of energy.
Well, exactly. What if you were a terrible, terrible, terrible person?
Well, yeah, you might have been. You might be a real good person in this life, and in last life a terrible person. I don't think you stray too much from what you are.
Yeah, but I think the worst thing you can do is try and compensate for a previous life, because it's not the same life you're in.
Well, most people don't remember what they were. They get no idea they're compensating. True, but yeah, it's a tricky thing because some people don't believe in it, and the evidence is too strong. Like children remember more, and that's what I was going to say. It depends how you're brought up. If you're brought up in a family that keeps you aware of these things from a child, right? And you're not brainwashed out of them, you'll grow up more connected because no one ever tried to sever your connection, right, or strangle your connection. A normal,
you're more open to it.
Yeah. Normal person's told by the time they get to a teenager and they go, oh, I saw this. Oh, no, it's just your imagination. Oh, you've been reading too many books. Oh, you watch too many shows. Those things don't exist. Don't be silly. Grow up.
That's what my friends tell me. My guy friends, around my area. They don't watch the UFO stuff and all the strange stuff that I normally watch, and they don't even like me opening the mouth about it.
Yeah, because they have no concept of it.
And now you're being stupid again.
Yeah.
No, just telling you
what happens to them. One day it'll happen to them. They'll be coming running to you. Sid, you wouldn't believe it. That just happened to me. I'll come and tell you. You know these things, right? That's what happens. I've had people.
The thing is, I don't know. I don't believe a lot of it either, but I like to talk
but you're
about
open
it
to it, right?
and learn. Yeah.
Yeah, you're open to it. And you've got
Learn what
to
other
love yourself.
people think. Yeah.
Yeah. Because and that's how it is. If you never experienced anything, the day you do, you're going to run to one of those people you thought were all full of shit, because they're the only people you know that know about it, and you just experience it, and now it's real. So
Yeah,
it's
we
funny.
all have different experiences,
You do.
especially we live on different sides of the planet, the three of us.
Yeah. And sometimes we have the same experience, even though we live on different sides of the planet.
Yeah, it's like strange stuff like that.
Yeah, people have said they've seen things, and I've in my entire life never seen anything like what they see.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's like, thanks, Creator. I wouldn't want to see those things. The ones I see is already enough. So I think what Creator does is, because we're like different lenses, we get whatever the way we understand is the way it's given to us. And I think that's why some people see things that others don't. And I know in healing,
see things differently.
Yeah, I know in healing that happens. You can have an ailment that needs fixing, and you're looking for someone spiritual to help you. You got to find that right person that can see it, because you can go and see 10 people, and they're like, "No, I can't see it. I can't see it," and you know there's something there. And then bang, one day you'll come across a person, and they'll go, "What's that thing there?" And then they'll go, "You can see that. That means you're the person to fix it, because you can see it." And I think that's why we see different things too. It's like a maintenance thing, you know. Yeah, interesting world we live in.
So, I mean, in healing, I mean, it's more of not always healing with your eyes. Sometimes you have to go beyond that, go beyond sight, go by touch, go by feel.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes you have to be like a super sleuth, to find out the mystery and what's going on, because you can see stuff happening and it's like, hang on, this all don't add up. You have to go into it and solve the mystery. And yeah, and then you find it. I spent once, I don't know, an hour and a half on somebody trying to figure out what it was I was seeing, and I just had to keep saying to her, just please be patient. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm seeing here. But an hour and a half went by, and bang, I found it. It took me a while, but I found it.
I mean, can you imagine the power, the force, if everybody got together and focused their energy and changed things?
Yep.
I'm starting to realize, if not see with proof, how I suspect these things are done to keep us perpetually in this 3D dimension. Because the power that we have as individuals, but collectively got together as a group and focused our energies for something good, imagine what we could achieve.
Yep, that's what I try to tell people. In 24 hours, we could solve everything if we were all on the same vibration, frequency, but we don't all know the same knowledge, so it'll take a while. The only being that can put upon the same knowledge all at the same time is Creator. At any time, Creator can go, all right, everyone, check this out, and we all get it, bang. And we all know that's the only way we can do it all together. The rest of it is up to us. That's part of the journey, part of learning, is to get to, you can see it, you know it, and you know if we all get there that it can be done, but you got to get yourself there. You've got to get yourself there. And fear is the biggest stick in the works. If you can pull that fear stick out, you'll be running 100 miles an hour quicker to where you got to go. And in this world, there's fear everywhere. That's the trick.
Yeah, that's fears. The fear is loose.
Mm-hmm. Be afraid. And the biggest joke, be afraid to die. Hey, man, we all got to do it anyway. It's the only way through this place, right? You got to enter one door and leave out the other.
Exactly.
I think if you have that attitude, you're gonna die early.
Ha! I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't go until you finish what you come here for. There are untimely deaths, and adjustments have to be made, but I don't think there's a lot of them. Yeah. Even the opposing force. Actually, there's something I thought about last night. You know, if someone gets so dark into the darkness that they're going to pop out into the light, because that's what just the way.
I can follow with that. That's isn't that the principle of polarity on one of the Hermetic principles?
What a crowd is that?
Because that's like you have two objects that are in motion and they're both moving so fast that eventually they're going to look like they're not moving at all.
Problem. How crowd is that? I mean, you got dark and light, right? You go from one to the other, because if you go all light, then you're going to have a bit of dark, like yin and yang. If you go all dark, you're going to have a bit of light. So one pops into the other, right? And you can play that game of popping in and out, in and out, in and out, or you can just accept the fact that these things exist and that's the way it is, and just get on with things and stop going. You know, that's dark, that's light. Well, man, they both exist. They're supposed to be balanced, so there's no light. Yeah.
Not I don't want to get too deep into tarot, but I don't want to get too deep into tarot, but that's the High Priestess. The thing that the High Priestess and the Lovers in tarot have in common is that bridge. The Lovers, if you look at the 7 chakras, the one that's governs is the 4th one, which is a bridge. You can either go up or you can go down. And then as far as the bridge on the High Priestess, those are the pillars. You have the white pillar, the black pillar, symbolic of good and evil, light and dark. But the High Priestess is the one that's the bridge, because she's got capability to be and be between both dimensions, both worlds, different realms. And so the High Priestess and the Lovers are very sympathetic because they both are that bridge.
Yeah, I'm not no offense, Julie, but I've never been a fan of tarot cards.
I only know surface stuff.
Yeah.
Only because I've been kind of like researching a massive works with those two particular cards and numbers.
Because things like that, how can I explain it? All right. So you've got your natural gifts, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, things like tarot cards, anything external. So you've got your natural gift, and then people use something external. So it's akin to, I have a pen and I need to write down on the paper what's in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't really need the pen and paper. Okay, I can put that down and just tell you straight what's in my head. And I can remember that. If I play it over and over again in my head a few times, I will remember that. I don't actually need the pen and paper. So I don't actually need whatever device it is that you're going to use spiritually to do something, because it's like the pen and paper, get it? And most of the time the pen and paper is for you, for the other person's sake, because they can't see what you're doing. They can't see energy, remember, or what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use something, whether it be anything, a stick, whatever, a crystal, whatever you're using, right, whatever floats your boat, like the pen and paper, okay, the person can see, oh, you're using this, it must be real, okay, because you can't read my thoughts. I can write them on a paper and then you can read it and you know that was my thought.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well just tell you my thought, because isn't that easier? Isn't it easier just to put it straight
True.
And even better, I could put my thought in your head and you can hear it anyway. So pen and paper, you don't need it. I said that to one person one day. I went to clean their place out, this place I went to, and I checked it out, and I'm like, oh yeah, they had smoke alarms. It could have been a bit of a hassle for what I was about to do. And then I realised, I can do this without all this stuff and just not have that problem. And I looked at the person, I said, I actually don't need anything. And you should have seen the look on their face. It was like someone opened their head up and all their brains fell out. And then I realised, oh shit, you don't understand what I'm saying. I shouldn't have even said that. But you don't have to use it. It's already in there. What do you think your body's for? Anyway, I'm gonna shut up again for a minute, okay?
No, I follow, but I can't remember what I did 20 minutes ago. I constantly have to have paper just to remember. Like even when I yarn with you, I'll have to write words down, or I forget.
And probably that's why people don't remember their past lives. They didn't write it down.
I mean, I can't remember what I wore yesterday, let alone
Somebody burned the book.
But you got short-term memory, long-term memory, right? You'd be surprised your long-term memory. You got files in there, man. You can access whatever you want. Everything that your soul spirit has experienced is actually in there. You just got to go in there and find it, and be prepared for what you read.
Oh yeah, I don't disprove that, but I can't prove it. But that's junk DNA. It's not junk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there for a reason.
Yeah, that's probably why they call it junk DNA. They don't want you to know that. Hey, that's everything you've ever known.
I mean, I think it is. I think it's encoded with something. There's a purpose for it. I mean, even Creator made everything the way it should be. There's a purpose for it. Just like, I mean, he spared no expense. He left nothing behind. He even made the platypus.
Yeah, right.
It's got fur, web feet, poison, a duck bill. Everything has its place. So there's nothing intentionally left out.
It glows in the dark, man.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That is such one of the most interesting creatures, animals. Gotta be. Every time we talk about it, I learn something new about the platypus.
So I imagine there's people out there like the platypus. They're so different to everyone else. I wonder if they glow under black light.
Back in the day, they used to make a lot of funny brand new animals around in the morgues.
Well,
that's
I mean,
what
they're
in the old freak
to,
show museums and
those
stuff.
Chimeras, they're still trying to create.
Oh, they are. Yeah. It's true what they say. Whatever happened before, we're doing it again. I saw stuff the other day, it made me cry. And when they do something to animals, it hurts me deeply. And I thought they're going to pay deeply for that. I tell you, they're being watched, and their times are coming. People say that, why is our karma? Why are we all at war, always at war, and all that? And I'm like, okay, what do we do to animals? So we might stop killing each other, but we haven't stopped being cruel to them. So it's going to keep coming back at you. And they're doing horrible things.
Luna, I like meat.
Yeah, it's not talking about eating meat. That's the cruelty we do to animals. Right? Because when you're a hunter, a proper hunter, you pull down your prey, you'll say something to Creator, and the animal will thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you for
right?
food.
Yeah, that's right. And you'll thank the animal, and you'll do your bit. That's different.
And you use everything.
Yeah, and you use everything. You don't waste that. Oh, I was at the river the other day. Someone caught this big ass fish out of the river, and they just chucked it there and left it. It was the saddest thing. It was the saddest thing, man. It was dead when I found it, and I thought, why didn't they just throw it back in the water? It was huge. It was sad.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about, the disrespect.
If you do that here, you get a fine.
But anyways, they're the things we have to fix, and they lay in the individual. When I was a young girl, I saw cruelty to animals really bad. I was too young to do anything. And as it was happening, it's like Creator grabbed me and said, just remember this, because this is what people can be like. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Wow.
It's horrible. But they're the things you don't want to give energy to. You've got to be aware of them. There's a lot of things in this world we've got to be aware of, but don't give them too much energy, because we don't want them to survive. All right, I'm going to be quiet a bit because I think I've talked heaps.
No, I've like completely like am out of like talking points.
We enjoy you talking, Luna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sid, do you
I'm
have
getting
anything you want
tired.
to? Yeah, it's like morning time for Sid. Is there anything you want to throw on the table before we clean off the table and start washing the plate? I'm like fresh out of. I think I've taken Luna through the spiritual gauntlet enough tonight.
You asked me all them questions. Okay.
So I guess well.
I think it was good good to hear.
Yeah, it
Good
was.
conversation.
I agree. It. I had questions, and I'm sure Luna could answer more detail, but he's only limited with what Spirit says, right?
Yeah, okay. And like I said, I'm not used to just holding the whole conversation. You know.
But I think you're too nice with your answers. Yeah.
Too nice with my answers. Yeah, in reality, if you were sitting in me, like if we went online, I'd probably cut a few things a little plain. But you know, yeah, that's what I find. Sometimes people's energy, like their personality, like is so strong, you don't want to unleash yourself upon the world too much because it's too much for some people. So, and over here, us black fellas, we get kicked out of pubs just for laughing, so we got to be careful and not drinking. If you laughing, you'll still get kicked out. Anyway, who we got there? We got Joe. Joe's really enjoying this. All right, give me a
send those dang Brits back home again.
Yeah, and we got Orion. G'day, Orion. We got Crazy Silly there, Crazy Mad Warrior.
Yeah, and we had Ron here with us.
And whoever's listening in the future.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on going on super long tonight because I'm kind of easing my way back into the YouTubes.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be on a break, right?
Yeah, thank you for coming on a break.
I'm on a break, you know.
Said.
Every time
it's a good hour.
Yeah. I mean, I've been away so long, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to like turn the on switch on. So,
Jules, it worked. It
worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah, I had good conversation with great friends and beautiful people in chat. Orion and Joe, and Ron, and whoever else was lurking. It was a good show, good turnout.
Yeah,
small and intimate, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
They don't want us to go, Jules.
What are we going to talk about? I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come in.
Hey. Yeah, drop a link.
Yeah.
While you do that, I actually found, I'll show you the, I found pictures of the old samurais, the real old big samurais. You want to see that?
Yeah.
All right, I'll find it. I'll find it again.
Of course we will see that. That was a stupid question, Luna.
I know. Hang on, I'll find it.
Of course we will see.
I know, I was saving it for my show, but we'll watch it today. Like I said, I'm supposed to be on a break, and ever since I've been on a break, I've been on radio shows, other people's shows. I'm supposed to be on a break. Well, I actually had my break, remember, my hand. You gotta be careful what you say.
Hardy, har, har, har.
Right. Yeah, when you say I want a break, you've got to be careful. All right, where is this thing I found? Mosquito Dance. Yeah, it was on TikTok. Where the hell did I find it? All right, did I have the right thing? Just give me a minute.
You got it.
Search YouTube.
It's almost 4:20 here, so that's a good time for me to go under the duvet.
Because is it getting cold there, eh, Sid?
Yeah, and I live in a basement in a cold house.
Oh, right.
I would say that it's. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was the
I
cat
did.
sneezing.
I did. See him?
You know, this happens to me all the time. I'll show Jules something, and then 10 minutes later, I can't find it. All right, what we got here? Creepy. What do I want to know? Oh, is that it? It might be it.
Oh, wrong button.
Luna hit the wrong button. She's.
That
Luna,
happens.
come back.
Luna.
That's a mistake that I would make.
I don't know how to do that. Hang on. Oh man.
It's okay. You just
Oh,
had
no.
one moment.
I know what I did. Hang on. Oh, this is terrible. I don't know if I can do it. Hang on. Because I'm not on. I'm used to being on my show, and I've got the control thing, but I haven't. All right. What are we looking for? I found it once. I found it again.
Don't you want to share screen?
I do, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do I share my screen?
1%. Yeah.
Okay, I want to share my screen.
Should go to present.
Present. Share screen.
And then share screen, and then it should
Yeah.
give. Once you click that, yay! I shall give you permission. There's your screen.
Are we right now?
Yeah, I'm sure. I can see.
Okay, here we go.
Shadowy forests of rural Japan, the last giant shogun warriors, sworn to protect ancient traditions, remained hidden, training diligently for over 2 millennia. When the Meiji Restoration reached their remote village in the late 1800s, they emerged from seclusion to face a changing world with unwavering loyalty and valor, defending their heritage until the end.
There you go.
That's definitely an AI video.
Oh yeah, because they made the picture move. I love it when they do that. The picture, they can make the actual picture move. But the things are real. Did you hear him call their names? They're actually all got names. Yeah.
I saw an ogre there at the end, and I saw Skeletor.
Yeah, don't forget the Japanese armor. The helmets are made like they're all helmets. What you saw, most of them. They actually don't have big long teeth like that. They were helmets. And how do I know this? Because my oldest brother can speak Japanese fluently. He lived in Japan for a long time, and he's a kendo master, and he teaches people. So he knows everything about Japanese. So obviously I know. And when I saw that, I went, "Oh my God, I've got to show it to him. He'll love it," because they had giant swords and everything, and stories about them. And then the pictures popped up. So, you know.
Isn't giant sword the Shogun?
Yeah, they carry 3 swords, a big long one, a medium one, and a really small one. They've all got different names. Yeah, and it's made like everything else.
That would be the equivalent that I would know that as. You have a sword, you have a knife, and a dagger.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I used to.
The knife and a dagger, the same thing.
Not really. I think one's small and the
Kind
other.
of, but kind of different.
I guess a dagger would be more like a throwing knife, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. You got anything else you want to show us, Luna?
I think I got one more like that, but I don't know what it was. And then I'll just take a look.
Yeah, I'm a terrible host. I have nothing to share.
That's right.
It's just been one of those crazy weeks. I mean, if you want to go from spiritual to comical, I can take you there. I mean, just
always
1 week at work alone was a comedy show itself.
Oh, here's something spiritual. This is they're catching the soul leaving the body when people die. So please don't get upset that these are people dying, but just check out the soul thing. Hang on.
Sounds interesting, though.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Soul out of a human body caught on cam. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That was some kind of awesome.
Yeah. So
I did not expect that.
I'll probably re-show them on my show when I get back on eventually, but yeah, interesting, eh? Oh, we have someone. Cool.
It's Orion.
Hey,
Wow.
it's Orion.
Hey, Orion, how you doing?
Welcome.
Thanks for coming.
I was trying. I was trying this entire time.
Glad
I found out I
you.
couldn't log on to my PS5.
Oh,
But
right.
you can't use that on here, I think.
No.
You're here now, bud. Cool. So
Yeah.
tell us what you're thinking.
Why do I keep repeating the same lifetime timeline?
The same timeline. Basically, remember that spiral I was
Like
talking about?
timelines, I should say.
Okay. Just off the top of my head, that spiral I was talking about, you haven't jumped up. Some people jump down. You haven't actually jumped up or down. You just keep going around the same one, and you'll see the markers in time come back around. And when you see that marker come around, you know that moment is going to change the direction of whatever it is you're doing. Seize that moment. Remember what's going on, that you're on the same thing over and over and over again. Seize that moment and change it. Use everything you have to change the direction of that, and you'll pop into a new cycle. And the same thing will happen again. You go around for a while, figure it out, and then you
I've
go
tried a lot of things.
Yeah, there's got to be a key there. There's usually one key. It's like an acupressure point. You kind of got to poke around to find it somewhere.
So do I run and run and run until I break the sound barrier?
If you're fast enough.
I could be. And then run into a car.
If you run against the planet's rotation, you run faster than that.
My bones are sturdy enough. I've already done it once. I got hit by a car, but I didn't take any damage.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
A car is wrecked, though, Luna.
No, it wasn't wrecked. It just had a dent in its bumper.
Good on ya.
And a scrape.
Good on ya. As long as you're right, that means that you had your protection on and the car didn't. Basically,
I was in one of my high energy moments at the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that happened to me once, Ryan. I was in a real high energy moment. I was on my motorbike, and it was the first time I learned the lesson that you can fly too high. And I was flying too high, and I wasn't on drugs or anything. I was spiritually flying high, right? To the point where I must have went out of body while I was riding, because the next thing I know, I'm on the ground thinking, how the fuck did I get here? Fixed my bike up.
Oh, I crashed.
Yeah, no, I actually just fell over. Oh, we lost him. I actually just fell over.
Show my face.
Yeah, it was stupid, but it taught me that day, see, you can get too high. If I'm going to do stuff like that, stand on the ground, don't be in a vehicle.
I sort of flew that day also.
It's like flying there. You're like up here.
Like, not like a plane, not a helicopter.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Or a jetpack.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I got hit by a car once. The only thing I did was fly to the ground. It wasn't one of those like horrific incidents or anything. It was years ago. I was working Blockbuster Video, had a moment. Some friends came up, and I ended up going outside to greet them. And young people, some shenanigans that we do. Well, I went outside to greet them, and they kept inching the car up. And then they finally accidentally inched up too much and didn't realize how short I was, struck me in the kneecap and took me to the ground.
Oh, wow. That must have sucked.
It did. It sucked horrendously for the next month. But I'm going off camera too because everybody else is. And I'm not like looking I don't have a fancy fire to put up.
I just want to make a drink because I've been talking too much. So I can hear you and you can hear me. I just need to put the kettle on. Actually, talking about
I'm also searching for that loved one that I'm missing.
I've got to tell you something. When Creator made us, Creator made us whole. There is no other half. We are whole. That's another trick. Okay? So, and you think about it. If you want to meet someone and you want a good relationship, you don't want someone that's half there, do you?
No.
So you got to not be half there either. You got to be whole.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I
want somebody that completes my yin and yang.
Yeah, and be careful what you ask for. Truly. But think about it.
I'm the bad half.
Maybe that's what you think. And then you might get someone.
I'm the bad and the
good. Yeah, these things can be tricky. But basically, before you ask for somebody, you got to be whole yourself, because and everyone's got baggage. Doesn't matter who it is. Everyone's got their own stuff, right? So you don't expect to find someone with no stuff, because you won't. And if you ain't got stuff, I think you better have another look.
So if we're all whole and complete, I mean, what about the whole like twin soul, twin flame, other half theory?
Well, that's what they tell you, other half. Though. That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful what we say. So two whole souls come together in this plane in a vehicle, and they land, and then they take on bodies. And then when they meet again in their bodies, they recognize each other because they came here together. Sometimes you come here with a group of people. Sometimes you come by yourself.
See, when I came here, my eyes were damaged by the bright light of laser pointers and stuff like that, so I can't read auras as well as I used to.
That's all right, but you can still feel them.
No, I use my eyes.
Yeah, but we're supposed to use all our senses, right? So there's another thing go back to the New Age thing, right? You hear people, I can see auras, I can do this, I can do that. Well, the truth is you should be able to do all of them things. You've got 6 senses, and for all them 6 senses, you should have them physically and spiritually. So you should be able to like hear a spirit, see a spirit, feel the spirit. I
can
feel the spirit.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right, love. Sorry, I'll shut up.
What is it called when you can walk without using your eyes?
Remote viewing.
Blind.
Like see everything without your eyes being open.
Yeah, that's your mind's eye looking.
That's what I thought.
It is. I tell people, they go, if I shut my eyes, I can't see anything. I go, I haven't let them look, because if you shut your eyes, you can actually see stuff. And if you see your mind's eye will open, and it'll look like you're looking through your 2 eyes like normal, but you've got your eyes shut. Right?
My mind's eye shuts when I get angry or sad.
That's because your spiritual gifts don't work when you're angry and sad, because now you're in the dark. Angry, sad.
Mainly because I draw attention.
So yeah, if they're shut off, because you're not being spiritual when you're angry, I'm telling you. Anyone that thinks they're spiritual when they're angry, your gifts have just been unplugged for the temporary moment. When you stop being angry, you get plugged back in. Creator's not silly enough to give you gifts and let you go.
It's been my experience that when I'm angry, it's another force over me, because I don't like feeling angry. Me neither. I'm constantly apologizing for my actions, even though I've done nothing or I've offended nobody. It's just a state of being I don't like being in. So I find myself wanting to apologize because I feel like I'm projecting negativity on others.
I can feel that.
Yeah, I call it not, what do I call it, Jules? Not suitable for human consumption. That's what, yeah, that's what I say. People don't hear from me, so I'm not suitable for human consumption right now. And when I am suitable for human consumption, you'll see me again, for whatever reason.
Yeah, we are talking souls and spirits and everything, and bringing up soul connection, soul tribe, soul family. I mean, and I can't believe I almost ended this conversation, but that's largely why I'm here tonight, is the spiritual soul connection with you guys. Because they're throughout the study that I've been doing, I mean, and the personal experiences that have happened in my life in the past 6 months. I mean, I'm actually literally finding out and being shown by spirit that blood makes you related. Love is what makes you a family.
Yeah, we're all family. Even the animals and trees are our family.
That's what I'm saying.
We're all family. And
why do we need our family again?
We need our family because sometimes we need support. We need to know that we belong.
No, I said eat.
Eat our family. Oh, eat our family. Yeah, actually, you got a point there, my brother.
Yeah.
Why do we eat our family? Yes. You know, there was a time in the world where we didn't have to eat meat. Something happened, another energy come in and changed it. That's why we feel there's something not right in the world, because it's not singing on the right vibration. In your past lives, you came and it was singing on the right vibration, and you come back now and it's like, what the hell? Something wrong. The music's not right.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's time for bed in Norway.
Oh,
thanks for joining us.
Oh, come on.
Do you want me to sing you a lullaby? Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, little Sid bitch. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, little Sid bitch.
Oh my god.
No, good talking to you, Sid.
Yeah, good talk. You have fun.
Yeah. Thanks for helping out, Sid. Much appreciate it. Love you, dude.
Love you too, Sid bitch.
I love you too, Orion. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
And then there were 3. Unless anybody else wants to pop on, I'll drop the link again. But seeing how there's only 4 of us here, Joe, do you want to come on? I'll drop the link. But yeah,
I'm still making a cup of tea.
Orion, aka White Wolf.
Yeah, I like that. White Wolf
Thanks
Gold.
for dropping in.
Yeah. Yeah, when I get back on my show.
So what's the deal with the fear?
The fear. Fear, it freezes you. And you don't even know it's in you until you go, hang on a minute.
I don't understand it.
You don't, okay. Fear can enter your body through something you see, something you hear, or something.
No, I absorb it completely.
Fear.
Yes.
Yeah, do you spit it out after you absorb it?
No, I just grow.
You just grow.
I just grow.
There's an old saying, there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and that's true. As soon as you recognise fear, you go, I can see you now. Get out of here.
So I like being my sweet, lovable self.
Yeah. Actually, bro, I know people that have gifts of absorbing things. They can absorb dark things and get rid of them and stuff. There are people like that. I tried it, but it gave me a bellyache. I don't like doing it that way. I've got another way of dealing with it.
You just mentioned that, Luna, and that made me think of the scene from that movie, The Green Mile.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, where the guy had the gift of curing people by taking out their toxins.
Yeah, he'd take it on, eh? Yeah, you can do that. You can absorb it into your body. I chose to do it a different way because you'd get a bit of an effect on it, and I'd rather miss that step. But it is very good. It's a very good gift, and it's very, I'd say 100%. It does its job 100%. But yeah,
It's like it builds muscle.
kind of, yeah. And actually, I find men are the ones more to do that and have that gift than women.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really like it. But
I also have a golden aura that doesn't come out as much. And it's blocked out by this black aura. I've actually gotten taken aside and had some removed.
Oh yeah, right. I get what you're saying. Yep, that happens to you. I had a spear in me once, and a spiritual spear.
Probably still do.
No, I had it removed, and the way it happened, bro.
I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, right. Yeah, with me, I actually had to go to this very special place. I've never been there before, but as soon as I got there, the place told me everything about it, where the water was, everything, right? And then one day while I was there, I was staying there for a week, I heard this call, and it was giant sand dunes, right? And it's very easy to get lost in giant sand dunes. But I went in there, the call called me, and it actually, the spirit there in the place, the spirits, the ancestors there, showed me how to get on top of the sand dunes and not get lost. So I did that, and then they took me to a special place where I had to lay down on the top of the sand dune. And as I was laying down, that's when I realised I had a spear in me, because that's why they wanted me up there. 2 spirit men came and pulled the spear out, and it wasn't until they pulled it out I realised it was in there. And then other stuff happened. It was really beautiful. Anyway, I went to my elder, and I asked him, I said, Uncle, this is what happened to me. I said, who do you think speared me, a man or a woman? He said it could have been either. And I'm like, oh, I said, you've got to be careful of these things. But like I said, I didn't even know it was there till it got pulled out. I did have a pain in my side for a while, and I didn't know what the pain was. And then when they pulled it out, it went away, and I realised it was the spiritual spear. Yeah. So these things can happen, and these mean people, I said, mean people can do mean things, man. You've got to be careful.
At least it wasn't a pain in your ass.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a pain in my ass, all right.
But I knew a tribal person did it.
I'm miserable.
And people forget that. I knew straight away a tribal person did it because it was a spear, because a non-tribal person would have done something else. Right? They wouldn't have speared me. They would have done something else. And I've had other things happen to me before. Someone tried to plant something, literally plant something in my head, right? And I found it and I pulled it out. And that wasn't a tribal person, because they wouldn't have used it. It was a vegetable. It was a carrot. They tried to plant a carrot in my head spiritually, right? So you imagine having something growing in your head, it would have caused headaches, uncomfortableness, because that's what I was experiencing. And then I had to look and went, far out, some dickhead put this here, and I pulled it out. And I knew it wasn't a tribal person, because they wouldn't have put a carrot. They would have speared me or put something else there. Yeah. But these are things I normally don't talk about, right? You won't hear these things out of me unless you're that way inclined. And at the moment, right, this is the first time I've done it online.
I used the spirit walk also, but that got scared. I got scared, so scared.
Why? Because there were other things there when you started walking around?
Yeah.
And you got fear. Remember what I talked about, that fear? You can't have fear in you, and because they'll prey on you when you've got fear. You know the animals, when they smell you and they smell fear coming out of you, and they'll chase you? Same thing happens in spirit world. Those things, if you got fear in you, they'll smell the fear in you and come after you. If you walk with no fear and walk with the Creator, they'll run away from you.
True. They run when I have a sense for vengeance. Well, some do anyways. But I have spirits on my side that check up on me to make sure I'm okay.
Yes, we all do. Some have more than
Like
others.
lots.
Yeah, the more you have,
Of
the more.
them.
Actually, that's what I look at. You know, when I look at someone, I look behind them to see who's standing with them. And if I see lots of people, I know they're good people because they've got lots of support. I met one woman. She had one woman behind her, one woman only. There was no one else. And that woman had her back turned to her, and I looked at her and went, "Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Oh shit! You're in for a big lesson, lady." Because there was, and that woman had her back turned. Yeah. So I don't know what was going on inside that woman, but she had big lessons because no one was near her. Yeah.
So, on average, how many people do you see around entities, souls?
On average, 2 to 3 would be the common thing. Two.
That's kind of what I would guess you would say, in the sense that studying angels and everything, I kind of sense that everybody has at least one,
Yeah.
but I speculate that most people have at least 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I see. If I
I'm
see,
just waiting to go back to heaven.
yeah, we all are, my brother. Go back home.
Yeah, until then, I mean, I hear you on that. I mean, there, as
I
above,
hate
so
it when I
below.
come here.
There's a dimension above, there's one below, but I'm, for the
Then the
time being,
both.
exactly. I guess I'm not going to say all one can do. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself. I'm trying to create heaven on earth, because times are going to get to where you're going to need a slice of heaven somewhere, and got to make it on earth. Got to make your own heaven.
Yeah, people do. They make their own hell and their own heaven. I've seen that lots, and we are capable of doing that.
Oh, my first one was horrible.
And this world's destined to change, because, like I said before, it was a beautiful place.
They were torturing my family.
Yeah, I remember them times. I got tortured myself. I was sacrificed once, man. I remember that as plain as day. I'm actually still looking for the place I was sacrificed in. I've searched all these pictures of places all over the world.
I was sacrificed in Egypt.
Yeah, this place looked like it, but I still haven't found the exact place. Because it had there were distinct things about it. It was like an arena, but it wasn't, and it had this long thing that you walked out. It was like a big long piece of wood, rock. I'll tell you. You know the back of the Sphinx, how it goes out long from the back?
Yeah.
The thing I walked out on was like that, but it wasn't there, because it should have a big pit, and and around the pit is a big wall where people sat. So unless it's all eroded, but it looked very much like the back of the Sphinx. But I doubt it was that, because the rest of the area doesn't match. But I will find it one day. That was important.
I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I don't remember as much of previous rounds.
Probably a blessing.
Probably a good thing. Less attachment.
Yeah. I actually wrote all mine down as I remembered them throughout my life. I write them down, my past lives. And I have met other people that had past lives with me, and they were just as aware as I was. And they actually helped me remember things that I forgot. One lady, we sat down and had a really good conversation, and she said, "I remember you, this is how it was, do you remember?" And I go, "I remember this and this." And she goes, "What about that, that and that?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit. Now I remember it that you told me." It was like missing pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I got a scary story to tell you.
Okay.
But I remember this from when I was born.
Yeah.
So, here I was after I was done being tortured, along with my family. Completely red, but you could see dark reddish figures, and you could see a throne up ahead.
Oh, yeah. They went Roman.
And they were planning on conquering the world.
Romans, they sound like, bro.
It sounds like Romans to me, too.
But it wasn't Romans.
No, they were different.
It was very few. Their army was dwindling.
Oh.
And it was also the Roman monsters.
Yeah, back then there were other things roaming around as well with us here.
How far back? Because I wonder if that could have been some influence of Phoenicians.
I remember.
All I know is I was one of the 6 beings standing in front of the Lord of that realm.
Oh, right.
With each, because I didn't agree with what they said, I ran.
Mm-hmm.
I punched and kicked my way. I just kept getting stronger and faster every time I punched and kicked away another person that tried to stop me.
Mm-hmm. Were you underground, above ground, or where were you? Can you remember?
Underground.
I knew you were underground. You know, as soon as you started saying, I thought, I know that fucking place. I've been there. I know where it is, and they showed it to me when I was young. I looked.
The only reason I know this is because I was in a pipe when I came out.
Right.
And there was technology down there also.
Yeah, I was taken there. They actually took me there to show me what was going on. So we came in through the back door, and we were stealth, and we weren't to be seen. But when I saw what was going on down there, I just went, shit.
Not a suggested place to visit.
No, I wouldn't say it's a good place to go. I'm glad I was young when I went there because I was fearless. Well, I'm pretty fearless now, but when you're young, you're invincible, right? Yeah, it was a good learning lesson for a beginning of the life.
And then I ran through purgatory. Well, what I would assume is purgatory. Then I got to Earth.
Oh, yeah. I remember, I don't even want to talk about this. I mean, I've never told anyone. I remember a place where everybody's bodies are all just laid up on top of each other.
Yeah, seems familiar.
Yeah, you know that place? Yeah, I know that place. But you know what, bro? Unless we're aware of these things, we wouldn't know to stay away from them. Creator showed us, see this stuff? This is where you don't want to be. See this stuff? This is where you want to be. You know?
So kind of staying on topic, but getting off topic, but staying on topic. If there was a topic for tonight. The spiritual battle that we're going through right now. Do you guys believe that we're going through one? Like I do.
Oh yeah.
But it's oddly enough, I feel it and I know we're going through it, but
it's for order.
If you ask me to write about it, I could not. It's wholly something that I feel and I can't express in words.
Yeah, you're up to the final four. You go son.
I also have a lot of information going through my head, consistently being relayed to me.
Yep.
Rumor has it we are going through an apocalypse right now. An apocalypse is just simply means a revealing. So I mean,
I'm just ready to go home.
I speculate there are a lot of people who are who are having these as well. I mean, I'm not longing to leave. I'm ready by all means. I'm ready. When my time comes, my time's up.
Well,
until then, I want to live and enjoy life while I can.
I was thinking about that the other day, and then I looked at my life. Now, usually when I've gone somewhere with a mob of people, like a little tribe, I'm always the last one to go to sleep and whatever, because for some reason I want to make sure that everyone's okay.
Yeah, I do that same thing.
Yeah, same here.
I've watched myself, and I remember sitting up to 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, why am I still awake? I'm away. I should be enjoying myself. And it took me a while to realise what I was doing. I realised, okay, so I'm that person. We're like the sentinels that look after all the mob. Come that time, everybody's sleeping. Okay, now we can sleep because everyone's safe, right? I realised that, and I thought, oh, crap. In reality, guess what? In spirituality and reality, it's the same thing. We'll be the last ones to leave because we won't leave until everyone else that we care about has gone, our tribe has gone. And when they've all gone through, and then we'll leave.
Oh my gosh, Luna, the way you're wording that, I'm going to be here for another 100 years.
No, it won't be that long. But
would count on it.
I mean, I don't think the world will be here that long. The way that times are changing.
Oh, the world's always been here.
What's with all the death?
Death's just a change of vehicle. Some people need to be called back because they're actually stronger in spirit than they are in a bodysuit, and their expertise are needed somewhere else. And others, well, I know some people that if they had saw what went on in the last couple of years, it would have killed them anyway. So Creator saved their heart and spirit and took them away before they got hurt.
Yeah, I with all the death that I've encountered in the past 2-3 years, I'm kind of leaning in that camp. I mean, I miss them solely and deeply, but on the other hand, they weren't meant to be here at this time. Creator had other plans for them. They were not supposed to
miss my cousin.
Yeah, I lost my cousin. I lost my dad. I lost a lot of people. My dad, he lived through the war.
I miss my best friend.
My dad lived through the war, and I didn't want him to see another war. And before he died, he went, this was going back to just what happened in the last few years. He nailed it, man. He goes, we're in a silent war. He goes, this is exactly what I grew up in, except there's no bombs. And I looked at him and I went, oh, Dad, you figured it out. And he died not long after that. And I actually said to Creator, thank you, because I didn't want him to see another war. His soul would not have handled another war. He saw enough for many lifetimes. And my cousin, her mind, she was such a rebel and a fighter for the suppressed, depressed, and oppressed. She would have done a bloody neuron in the mind or something and blown her head off. She just wouldn't have handled it. Trying to protect everyone, she just wouldn't have been able to do it. So Creator took her before it happened. So she didn't have to see that horrible stuff. But yeah, there's always an answer, a reason. Just got to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've lost a lot of people, and now I'll say it now. What is it? Love to those that we've lost, and prayers for all of us left behind.
Amen.
Amen.
Or I should say Amen Ra, because that's where that comes from.
It's supposed to have, so shall it said, so shall it be. That's what you're supposed to do.
And so shall it be.
Yeah, I realised in this lifetime how much we don't do what we should be doing in spiritually and towards Creator, but it's not our fault. We've been misdirected, we've been tricked, we've been mind-effed, manipulated, and all these things have happened to us, and we all know that deeply in our soul what the right thing is. So be kind to yourself, because we have been tricked and manipulated. It's not your fault.
Yeah, and can I open up a can of worms and say one of the biggest tricks of manipulation is religion?
Yeah, or like I said before, when all religions say if you don't believe what we believe, you can't get to heaven. Well,
Religion is nothing but a tool to tell the future.
in my culture, we accept all people from any religion. We're allowed to, in our culture and our beliefs, we're allowed to talk to anybody.
Well, the Christian religion is the Bible.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's a key.
Well, I mean, the Bible. I mean, I.
There's some good life lessons in there, but
There-
it's mostly for
There is,
telling
but
the future.
the Bible, it
Hasn't every religion got
I
their
mean,
book? Hasn't every religion got a book like the Bible? Every single religion has one, right? They're just called
yeah. Well, and it's all written, in my opinion, exclusive disclaimer that it's my opinion that the Anunnaki were the ones who wrote the Bible as a tool to control and manipulate and maintain power. And it's not, the book has always been in existence. It was able to be passed down traditionally before the invention of paper, papyrus, before the first things they chiseled on were the cuneiform tablets. It was always lip to mouth, and it was always, this knowledge was about before the deluge, before the flood. Survivors of Enoch's people, Cain, the bad line of Cain, they carried forth all this information in these occulted secret societies. The Great White Brotherhood was antiquity, and then it still maintained its secrecy, and then the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Bilderbergers, all these other groups stem from.
I've actually gotten an invitation to the Illuminati, but I declined it.
I just seen the rise and fall of humankind. So here we are now, and today,
like, no.
All our language will be in computer form.
They have those people from antiquity. Their offspring have always been in control, and they've mastered how to keep the power amongst themselves.
Actually, I think that if they've always been in control, how come it took them this long to gain control again?
They've all.
I think that's a misconception. They want us to believe.
I mean, this is just
they lost control and they're trying to get control back.
I mean, perhaps, but what's going on now? I mean, it's going to take time for them to implement because the world has just populated so much.
Mm-hmm.
When they thought about this centuries ago, there weren't as many people, and it was more, and they have to keep going back and reassessing their plans because population is far exceeding their capacity at any given moment to do something. That's why I think they've got these genetic programs.
I know.
More, and it's also more emotionally unstable for the people.
Well, remember when you said it before, junk DNA? Remember when they tried to change us and dumb us down because they were afraid of us, and there wasn't many of us, but they were afraid of us still. So they mucked around with our vehicles so we couldn't access everything, right?
Do you know that to this day, that if the Anunnaki created us, they have perfected what they've achieved because scientists today have with the technology, they've been able to go in with telomeres that are in DNA and try to alter them and fix them. And every time they try to do this, the person that they're doing this with ends up getting cancer.
Yeah, because you can't muck around with creative stuff. That is the main lesson of this world that they have still not learned. They're still trying
be kind to everyone.
Creation, and it will not work. Creation will come back every single time.
Yep.
And thwart them.
I mean, the one lesson that I took away from Blockbuster Video: be kind, rewind.
Yeah. And they didn't make us. Creator made us, because you got to remember we're in a bodysuit, right?
Yeah.
Creator
made us.
Creator made us. We took on a bodysuit. The bodysuit we have today doesn't look like the bodysuit that we had 10,000 years ago, right, or more. It's different. They mucked up the bodysuit. They didn't muck us up. They can't touch us because we're of Creator. And who made them? Creator. They have to answer
exactly
the same laws as everybody else.
I can't remember what tablet it is, but in the tablets of Enki, the Anunnaki themselves actually mention a supreme creator.
Yes, that's right. Right?
Yeah.
And this is where this is how they're trying to trick people. It's like trying to get you out of the crowd so they can attack you, right? So they're telling you they made you, they did all this to you, they're the supreme beings. Common sense will tell you, hang on a minute, I was already made and Creator made you as well. So that don't hold. And what is it?
The one thing that started me going more and more and more to the something ain't right. I'm gonna look into the Anunnaki camp. Is looking in the Bible in the passage where it said, "Let create them in our image."
Mm-hmm.
That right there, that one phrase alone implies that there are more than one God.
That's right. They're the little gods, what I call little gods. So you got Creator, and then you got gods. They're the little gods. So you got Supreme Father, whatever you want to call it.
One, in my opinion, the one most cruelest things that the religion, Anunnaki, whatever you want to call it, that whole dogma concept aspect, the single most damaging thing that has done is allow people to put a face with God, Creator, the higher power.
Mm.
Because, again, speaking for me, I didn't understand God, power, religion, or anything until I removed any face, any image, and realized that it was a force.
Yep.
And a force you can't put a face on. It's just impossible.
And what does Creator tell you? Don't have any idols or images.
Exactly.
So if it's an idol or an image of a so-called Creator, they're a god. They're a little god. They're not Creator. They're listening to a little god. A creator being is what our culture calls them. Because Creator made beings that can create. We're one of them. We're Creator beings.
We are.
Stuff. Right? We just don't know our own power because we can create more than what we're creating right now. But these other beings, they know they can create. And they're Creator beings.
I mean, we are creator beings. We create our own reality. We create each moment. A few years ago, I saw a really interesting breakdown of time. And what a coincidence. I went back to find it a couple of days later, and it was yanked off of YouTube. This is even years ago. So there was a physicist who was looking at time, and he was comparing it to a tree. It's like time starts out at the bottom, and it grows. And when you get to a point where your first big major timeline, you get the choice. You either get to go left or you get to go right. And within that decision that you make, every branch comes out. Every 4 seconds, that's another decision, that's another branch on the timeline. Another 4 seconds, that's another decision, another branch on the timeline. It's all those small choices like that shape your reality.
Mm-hmm.
You're a creator, whatever, it's all your power, your will. You are the little g, the creator. You manifest your own reality. If you wish, you will to be in a better frame of mind. It's easier to do things when you're in a higher vibration and in a higher frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because then you're all open and
I feel like my chains are broken when I'm at a higher frequency.
They are. We're all supposed to be at a higher frequency. That's what the beautiful world we used to live in. Everything was made for the betterment of humanity, and we kept that high frequency in everything we did.
We used to sing to talk.
Yeah. Our buildings and the things we use were all made in that for that higher frequency purpose. They were all beautiful and they had all functions. We've lost it all. Someone's tricked us.
Sing to talk must have been the age of Atlantis, because that's the only thing I can remember.
Oh yeah, that was a big turmoil. A lot of people remember that. I remember that. That's when times started changing.
Yeah.
That energy came in. That energy, that destructive energy, it came from somewhere else and came here. It wasn't supposed to come here, but it did.
My thoughts, my speculations, Saturn, the influence that it has, and the old, if you can find it, it's definitely worth a listen. Several years ago, David Icke gave an interview with Credo Mutwa. He was the Zulu chief, and Credo Mutwa had a very interesting, compelling thought argument of how the moon, he described it as how the moon was brought into our solar system. But the moon, in conjunction with Saturn is chaos. Saturn is time. That's what controls time. The moon acts like a receiver from Saturn. So it bounces these beams and it reflects it to Earth. It's like a frequency. And the moon, I speculate, works with Saturn to keep us tuned into this low frequency vibration.
Possibly. Our people have a story before the moon, when the moon arrived. We got a story about that. So that
I remember when there used to be 3 moons.
Yeah, there used to be other. Yeah, I remember that. Because this time, when I was a little girl, I looked up in the sky and I went, "Where's the other planet?" I remember seeing 3 heavenly bodies in the sky, not 2. So you got the moon and the sun. There was something else. And when I was a little girl, I remember looking up in the sky and thinking, "Where's the other heavenly body? Oh, I must be in a different place." That's what I remember thinking.
It looks so similar, though.
It does, doesn't it? But don't feel right. It doesn't feel like it.
No.
There's so much here that wasn't in the other places.
I know one of my timelines got destroyed.
See, I think there could be an entity jacking with the timelines. Some curious deity out there, somebody like Loki or somebody, a trickster who could be messing with the timelines. Even if it's just something as simple as like the scene from the old Airplane movie where Leon takes the plug out and the airport shuts down for like 3 seconds. Just kidding.
Yeah.
That would have detrimental effects to a timeline. It would completely not destroy one, but in theory, multiple.
No, this being is destroying them one at a time.
See, I don't see. Depends how you say. I don't see that because I don't see time like you guys do. You can't stretch it out. It's not linear. I see time. If you imagine, you know how the waves come in the ocean, like you stand on the beach. Have you ever seen the waves? How one crashes into the other, and then it makes another wave and goes back out?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
time's not linear. It's not. It's definitely more cyclical.
Yeah. You could say time is just motion, right? It's motion, like those waves. It's a moving energy, and it just moves and all
continuous connecting motion.
Yeah, it makes another wave.
Well, I will agree with you.
New notes made, and it's still all the same thing.
I like that concept because as far as I can only tell, humans are the only people who actually use time.
Yep.
Look at a clock.
That stupid clock. Yeah. that clock was designed to enslave you.
Yeah.
And get the maximum work out of you every second of your life.
You can from 8 to 5, you can be taxed these 40 hours in any given week.
But you know what I found, Jules? We're up against a whole world that believes that's the way it should be. I remember a little girl, my sister said to me, how can you think like that? And I looked at her. I said, how can you be like this? She goes, it's always been like this. I said, no, it hasn't. And that's the day I realised that some people think it's always been like this and this is the way it's always been.
No, it's not.
No,
it used to be way different.
We know it's not that way. But there are people that believe, and they're the people we're up against. They need, for anything to change, they have to understand that, no, it isn't always this way. There was another way. We've been tricked into this way. Once they realise that, everything here will be free. But
yeah, I mean, we're all born sovereign and free until that birth certificate comes along that claims you as a legal tax-paying entity. Well, the birth certificate is what makes you a corporation.
Yeah, because
I often wondered why it's when people are deceased, they're referred to as a corpse. It's because the whole corpse corporation.
Yes. Yeah, and they're the final things of the trick. That the whole trick. So when one guy walked up to another guy with a piece of paper and convinced him that what his paradigm was the right paradigm, and now there's two people thinking that, and then there's three, there's four, there's five, there's six, there's seven, right? And they had no idea. And here we are hundreds and hundreds of years later where there's still us going, you're being tricked, and there's a whole heap of people thinking the trick's real. Soon they will be awakened. And that's where we come in, because you know what it's like when you see someone come out of a room and they've gone in there and you know they're going to be tricked. You want to console them. You need to sit them down and say, it's okay. It's going to be all right. This is what's going to happen. When these people wake up and realise they've been tricked, some of them are going to crash, some of them are going to get angry, and some of them are just going to stand there dazed because they're trying to configure the paradigm. How can this be? And we'll be standing there going, because it just is.
To be honest, I can't comprehend anymore.
Yeah, there comes
where, you know,
you have to just give it to Creator. Yeah, there's a point where you go, okay, that's it, and just leave it with Creator.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that bumper sticker that was popular decades ago. God is my co-pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
I have that.
Sky Brother has to be the co-pilot.
Yeah. I've got a friend who's a Muslim woman, and she said, I talked to her because we exchange cultures, right, to see what's the same and what's different. But they have a saying, like us, that whatever, they'll make a plan, like we'll have a picnic on the weekend, and at the end of saying it, they'll have their saying in their language, which means if Creator deems it, it will be, right? So I like that about them, because they left this area for what Creator wants, not just for what they want. And in our culture, we're the same. We just call it Blackfoot time, but it's actually for what Creator wants and not for what we want. And they have a similar thing. They say that. And I thought that was really nice, because in normal Western culture, we don't do that. We plan and stick to that plan. There's no room for Creator to come in and change that plan. And if there is, it's like a smack in the head, because you've been so rigid following that plan, he had to knock you out of it to get your attention.
Yeah.
And the other way of saying it is take time to smell the roses. Because while you're smelling them roses, that's when Creator comes in. And like I said again, this world we live in doesn't make time for these things. They're trying to sell you now that Creator is a machine. You know? Anyway, or Creator some alien.
No.
Alien. Yeah, I don't like that word alien, not others. Because other things exist, and you're a fool to think they're not. There are a myriad of other things.
Yes.
But anyway,
It's technically a supreme being of knowledge.
And there's other places, like when we pass away, you can go to another place. You don't have
In
to come
space
here.
and time.
You don't have to come back here. There's other places you can go to. People don't know that either.
Well, I know where I'm going when I'm done with this realm.
We're all going home for a big rest first. That's always the crowd. We all need a big rest. All you warriors need a big rest at home.
We're gonna have a big rest on Speculation Island.
And we need to heal up because we've been here many, many times doing many, many things. And we need to heal up.
Speaking of heal,
I need to heal.
It's no coincidence that people will often, I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I need to recharge. It's because us humans, our consciousness is energy. We're like batteries. We do need to recharge.
Yeah,
and like thinking in courtroom or jail cell, you're charged and you go sit in a cell.
Yeah, right. A battery cell. Right.
Our bodies were biological computers. I mean, operating off of a sack of cholesterol.
Yep.
I mean, I mean,
We live in the best.
we have all these like weird and wonderful things that make up these vessels that we're in, and to think that we're all so much more, and there's an evil force keeping us from our true potential.
Definitely, that would be me.
And I guess that for me is the spiritual battle of knowing that this is what we are, but why are you keeping us from achieving our potential? That's just mean. That's like animal abuse.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's easy. Think of all those things: fear, sadness, all that, anger. Okay, that we all know what they are and where they come from. So these beings are that. They're afraid of us. They're angry at us, and they're deeply sad, and all the other things that come with it. That's what they are. And truly, all they want to be is happy and be in the light.
I'm happier to be in the light.
Yeah, ask any angry person that's going wild, they're on a rage fit. Once they quieten down, they start to settle down, they tell you what they really want. And what they really want is probably to be understood, to be heard, to be loved, to have support, not to have fear in them. They want all those things too, but they know they haven't got them, and so they get angry. So you get it? And we're all
I want to not have the overwhelming handicap.
Overwhelming handicaps. Well, and sometimes it's the way we see things, right? Like I got dealt a really bad poker hand in the last few years. And I thought, okay, in a game of poker.
I'm thankful that I got my legs still.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can retrieve your poker hand. Or you can just go, it's just a game, it's okay, wait till the next round.
Well, the late, great Kenny Rogers said, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to turn away, and know when to run.
Exactly. That's right. You just got to let your instincts guide you there. You're into it. Really, it's a tricky place here.
I've never been good at that.
This place is supposed to be for rest, relaxation, and sensory fun, right? Smell the roses, look at the beautiful animals. We're all here. Yeah. Anyway, it will be. It'll change again. We're seeing changes even if people don't realise. Because it's a place. People call it a realm is the best place to think. It's a realm. Realms can change.
True, and I
Yeah.
don't really like that word. It seems so realm. It is appropriate.
Yeah. I've heard
I
it before.
changed in this realm.
Yeah, that's
I
hard.
broke down.
You break down. Yeah, I think we've all broken down. And it's not until you break down that you can actually get strong, because then you know what you're made of, right?
Yeah.
And I think the first part of being here is learning what you're made of. Learn about yourself. Learn, you know. And a lot of the talents you have in this life are from other lives. You've learned it before. That's why you're really good at it now.
I don't remember much about past lives, but according to Luna, I was a warrior princess woman.
So,
on the battlefield.
Luna.
Yes.
How many past lives do you think I've had?
Oh, I don't know. If I saw you, I can't even see you, right?
I can't show you.
Yeah, picture. Yeah,
I would if I could.
And if I saw you, I'll tell you how I see it. Everyone does it different, right? Remember. So how I see it, if you were standing in front of me, I'd look behind you, and everybody that you have been is standing in a straight line right behind you. And what I see is you, but different. So you're wearing different clothes for the time you were in. You were different heights, maybe different shades. I found you basically always resemble what you look like now. Every now and again, like if you were a woman opposite sex, you look a bit different. And sometimes you can be really big and now you're small. But basically, you still look similar in some ways. I've never seen anyone look totally different, completely like a cat look like a dog, right? I've seen many.
I remember being remarkably beautiful as a woman.
There you go, see? And what happens when I look, whatever life needs to be heard, or some attention maybe, or some lesson from that life needs to stand out from all the others, the people in the line will step one step to the right, okay? And then I'll look down the line, and then I'll talk about all the people that have stepped out of that line because they need to be heard. And that's your past lives talking to you. And then when they've all been heard, they all step back into line. That's how I see it. And I can't see a picture of you. I can only hear your voice. Well, this is a good exercise for me. All right. So I can't see you, and you're not here in reality. So I have to find another way of looking. So usually what I do is ask Creator. Now, Creator, you're all right. Just give me a second, eh? And I'll have a look.
All right.
Okay.
My eyes change color.
Yeah, I can see. I'm starting to see. Hang on.
I'm going to be quiet so Luna can concentrate.
Yeah, I'm trying to look above now. Are you fair color?
Huh?
In your coloring in this life, is it fair? Like, do you have like light colored hair and a beard?
I have a beard.
Yeah, you have a beard, and like, is your hair like light brown or?
I can't see my hair right now.
What color is your hair normally?
My hair changes color also.
Yeah, does it go from like a brown to a blonder, reddy tinge?
Yes.
Oh man, well that's you I'm looking at. Okay, I can see you. Oh, okay, that's better. Oh, all right. So the first one standing out, you're a sailor once? This is weird looking for
Yeah, didn't end well.
Yeah, you're a sailor once? Hang on. Oh,
Probably disappointed in me.
I know why you know Sid, because you were a Viking once.
Uh-huh.
And you were a woman Viking once. You had really long plait. Female.
Ooh, I wonder if you were Valkyrie.
What else have you done?
Probably.
Actually, you've been black. You're a black male. You've been male a lot of the time, you know. There's like only 3 or 4 times you're a female. And that's
My preference is male.
Yeah, you've been. Yeah, my preference is female. You can see that you've been male mostly. Wow, you go a long way. You go all the way back to the one of the changes. Oh, you go back.
Wow.
Hang on. And you're at Japan. Oh, kind of, yeah.
It should go back all the way to the
No
beginning.
hair there. All right, so Egypt. You got no hair in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you were a priest in Egypt.
Yeah, something like that. You're a bit taller and you're brown and you've got no hair.
Either a priest or a scribe.
Yeah.
A scribe.
You've been all over. What I find is the well-travelled souls have actually been all over the world. You've been something from everywhere nearly. You've been Scottish, like Scottish Irish. Yeah, I can see you in a kilt, and it was back in the old days, a warrior. If I was anyone else, I'd be charging you $250 for this. No, I'm joking. All right, focus.
Yeah, Orion, you got the treatment. I've known Luna for years and haven't like, this is like new territory. Luna is amazing.
No kidding. Congratulations, Luna.
Yeah, we're going way back, right? You had chains, man. You weren't.
I know I got pushed off a building once in China or Japan.
Yeah, you're a girl. You're an Asian girl. I was going to say you're an Asian girl. Yeah, you've been in Asia. Going backwards more in time though. No. You remember. You were there. You go back to the conversation we had earlier about Anunnaki and Atlantis. You were there. But you were fair-skinned and you had chains, man. They enslaved you. Sorry to tell you that. But that's what made you such a warrior in the other lives to come forward.
Oh, I came out fighting.
Yeah. And you also, we're going back, you have flown technological aircraft.
Yep.
You have flown them? Yep.
I have talent for that.
Thank you, Creator, for showing me these things. Yeah, you're in the Great Battle, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you get my tick approval. Now I can see who you are and where you come from. I don't know what to say, bro. Like, yeah, you're in the right place. You fought the battle before. You're here for the same battle, but it looks different, right? And I can see what you look like, obviously, because I just described him and you've got nothing on the screen.
Yeah.
And you know, you're happy. I know you might whinge and grind, but you're actually a happy person.
For the most part, yeah.
You got that jolly thing going on.
Was I Santa Claus?
Was you Santa Claus? But you could be. Yeah, you were German once, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've seen it. You've been, yeah. So you're a well-travelled soul. Most well-travelled souls, we have a good sound knowledge and we're very old. And in real life, I would look at you and I would look at your past lives and then look at your life in today, right now, and your health and everything. And no offence to anyone that knows me, but I can't help it. When I look at someone, I see these things. And yes, I have seen you, if you know me. But I just don't talk about it because no one's. You're the only person that's really asked properly like that. Now Jules off screen, Jules is going to go, do me.
So Luna, I can tell you what I feel, but with your insight, you can tell me if I'm on the beam or way off the beam.
Yeah, I can.
Again, I'm blinded. I was not given the gift of that sense. So everything that I feel, it it's because it's been a spiritual walk for me to get to this place.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was around for the great battle, but I definitely am drawn to. I think I was one of the Amazon women.
You've been a warrior in other lives, but when the great battle came, you were a child. You were a young child when the great.
I feel like I have been around from Atlantis.
Yeah, you were young, as opposed to our mate here. He was a grown man. He was about 20. 30.
See, and that's where I understand it's a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blessing not being burdened and having so many things tinker and flutter about, but it's a curse because the time is coming where our kind are gathering together and I'm lost. I come from a broken family. That's why right now, this day and time, even up to this very instant right now, that's why I feel like I'm here having this spiritual yarn, because there is something big coming and I'm gathering my family.
Well, I remember what my dad said, this is war, but there's no bombs. So our spirits remember battle, right? We remember battle in many forms. This time it's looking different, man. There is no physical.
Oh yeah, did you feel the shift of the light spirit?
Yeah, we've had a couple of shifts in the last year.
I felt the first tremor of that when the Great Conjunction came through a couple of years ago.
No, recently.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
I did feel it recently.
Was that in about August, September?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that lull where everybody was out of state.
Sorry, I can't talk about that.
Can't talk about it.
No. But you're right, yes. A major shift came in, but I can't talk about it.
I felt at ease as soon as that shift happened.
It was nice. It was very long awaited for, put it that way. A lot of energy went into that, but yeah, it came. Thank you, Creator. Oh, well, something I had to tell you. Oh yeah, you already know you didn't come from here. And I look back as far as I could in your past lives, and to the point where you came from somewhere else and then you came here. So that was probably home. Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, I can't tell you how old I am. I just know I've been around for a long time.
Yeah, your spirit age is a long time. Your spirit age. It way surpasses what we have here. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to thank you both for coming on, and Sid, if you catch the re-upload, it was a pleasure having you on as well.
Just have Sid Bitch send me a text and I'll be on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to come back in the near future when my other project is in completion. Because I'll have some stuff to talk about. About why I've been away from YouTube for 6 months.
And she hasn't been
it all... not officially. Well, I've been gone from this channel for about 6 months, but I'm segueing back. And again, thank you guys for coming on.
That's all right.
All right.
I don't know how I'm going to do it, but have I got your permission to put this show on my channel? I don't know how to do it.
Of course.
Thank you. And everyone hopefully
Luna, we're a team.
Go ahead.
We're a team. You were my sister from another mister, of course.
Yeah. Oh, well,
And without you, I would not be on this crazy spiritual
I
walk I'm
know.
on right now.
And you keep saying that, and one day if everything goes sideways, you're going to go, it's your fault, Luna, I wouldn't be here.
No.
You
know, and all.
If I may know, if it won't distort the timeline too much, like give me a sign to look out for. What sign would be to look out for my top half?
A top hat? You're looking for a top hat? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Top half of my yin and yang.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's
looking.
because I'm mostly covered, but it's spikes and mountains.
When you want someone to come, one, you got to make room for them in your life. Because I knew someone, they wanted someone in their life, but when you went to their house and got in their car, there was no room for a second person. And we had to say to them, if you want room for a second person, you've got to make room in your car and your house for a second person, right? That was one thing.
Oh.
Because a lot of people do that. They live alone. They don't make room for another person to come in. Everything's just for them because they live by themselves. You got to make room for another person to come into your life if you want them to come in. And two, if you're looking for someone, stop looking. Because as soon as you stop looking, because while you're looking and then pushing it forward, and then you look and then you push it away from you, and then you look and you're pushing it away from you every time because you're on the lookout for it.
You're right. My subconscious is better at looking for stuff.
Relax, enjoy yourself. Everything you do, don't worry about that other person. Just know that they're going to turn up, and worry about about the moment in your life, and they'll turn up in the moment. You'll know when it is. But while you're chasing it, you're pushing it away from yourself. So you just know that it'll come to you. You know they can't.
Luna, it's a first. We've run everybody off.
We've run off. We scared them off.
It's late. We've been on for.
It's 3:30.
This quick hour turned into a good 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was only supposed to be half an hour. That's all right. All right, we'll wrap it up.
Thank you, Luna.
It's been fun.
Thank you, Ryan.
Nice time. We had a fun time. I had a fun time.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, please feel free to come back. I mean, I have no idea what direction I'm trying to take my channel in, but I'm actually kind of feeling like this is a direction that I want to go. So I'm hoping that this is a segue into something different for the bitter and sweet. So we'll see.
Yeah, cool. And I'll be back on my channel. I don't know when, but I will be back. And you're welcome over there. And yeah, I'm similar. I'm trying to drive it in a different way because with the gay, I'm running out of stuff to show everybody. But I'll figure it out, don't worry. I might take his out and about. We might go out and about. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah. So everyone, hope you enjoyed me yarning my head off. And
bye, everybody.
Yep. So thanks, Jules, for having us.
Yes. Thanks, everybody. It's been fun. Bye, Luna. I'll see you soon.
Yalu. See.
Yalu.